Okay. All right, guys. Made it to day 7. I feel a lot better today. Yesterday was rough. I don't know, it's still a challenge, but today just felt a little bit more sane. Woke up late. Last night we did our yoga with Adrian and watched something. I don't even remember what. Babe, what did we watch last night?
The Royal Tenenbaums?
Oh, yeah. Hold on, my audio's too loud. Okay, sorry about that. I was recording one of my real videos earlier. We watched the Royal Tenenbaums last night because I wanted to make a video saying I was wrong about disliking Wes Anderson, but I watched it and I was like, I think I'm right. I think I don't like Wes Anderson. I don't know, it's just not for me, you know? Everything can't be for everyone. It's raining out right now and I love it. So yeah, I did write down some things today that just came up throughout the day that I wanted to share. Yeah. What else? But yeah, we watched a movie, did our yoga, went to bed. This morning I woke up late, so I slept in a little. And then I didn't get a lot done, so I went to a TLC meeting, which is Laura McCowan's The Luckiest Club sobriety group. It's been great. They did a little new member meeting, so I went to that today. And then I had therapy, and then I did my recording for my next video. And now I'm here. So it was kind of like I didn't have that many hours in the day today. And evenings are the hardest, I would say. So that's where it feels like there's this gaping hole of like time. And that's just because usually that's when I would be drinking or smoking. So I might run to the store, get some fresh seltzers or maybe like something for a fun mocktail. And we're going to watch a documentary, I think. So yeah, but I guess the things I wrote down, we'll just dive into those. So in a lot of sobriety groups, like, if you don't have any, like, time, and by time I mean, like, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, a year plus, you're, like, not really, it's not that you're not allowed to speak, like, you can. I'm thinking of AA. But it's sort of like your first 90 days, you're not really supposed to share in meetings unless you're, like, struggling. if you're not doing well, it's fine. But you're not supposed to act like you know anything or share any wisdom. And it occurred to me today, I think it was because Laura said it in the meeting, but it was like, even if you're starting over at day one every day, you still know more, like, you have just as much to say, if not more, than the person who, like, got sober the first time they tried or got it right the first time. Like, just because you're on day one again for whatever millionth time it feels like, doesn't mean you're discredited at all. And I thought that was really interesting because it kind of doesn't matter, yeah, if you're, like, 1 hour in or 1 day in or 100 days in. Like, we all have wisdom to share and something to say. You have a voice, and, like, that voice matters. And sometimes in sobriety circles, you can be made to not feel like that. So it was really refreshing to hear that. And I don't know, I just wanted to bring that to you, I guess. And then the other thing that came up today a lot was self-trust. It came up a few times. It's been coming up a lot for me. So, like, I'm realizing that I have very little trust in myself. I'm in the big ways, like, I stayed in this relationship far beyond its expiration date with my ex, and I think that eroded a lot of my self-trust. I also have OCD. I think that eroded a lot of self-trust. I had OCD therapy today, and she was like, OCD is like, what'd she say? It was like, OCD, it basically thrives on self-trust and kind of erodes your self-trust. I don't trust myself with, like, when I started my YouTube, I didn't trust that I would I didn't buy an expensive camera because I didn't trust that I would continue with it. The gym. I don't trust, sometimes I got so stuck for a while where I was afraid to start anything because I didn't trust that I would finish anything. Like, because I do have a bad track record of not completing things. Sobriety. I've had long-term stints of sobriety and then I end up back here. So like I haven't been able to trust that I could do that. Money. Definitely don't trust myself with that. And like it's just been kind of surprising because I sort of feel like I wouldn't walk around saying I don't trust myself, but then when I actually think about it and like the areas that I do trust myself, they're few and far between. And so what's been cool, I guess, is like I've sort of changed. I think I'm turning a corner. Like YouTube was one of those things, and my dog wants out. YouTube was one of those things, and I've stuck with it. I'm just gonna let her out real quick. Pig. Hey, Pig, what doing? You wanna go out? You can't come back in. Bye. Okay, so YouTube was one of those things, and I started it, and I've just been doing it like every week. I just was like, I just have to do next week's video. I just have to do next week's video, and that's how I got to 3 months, and still going, and like that's been huge for my self-trust. And then the gym is another area where I've started to rebuild self-trust, and I'm doing it by realizing that consistency is not about showing up and doing the same thing every day or doing it perfectly A+ every day. Like, I don't actually have to go to the gym every day. I just have to move my body every day. Like, kind of like bringing down the bar. And like, if I go to the gym and like touch it literally and then leave, like if that's all I can do, if that's truly all that's accessible, really that's not my minimum. My minimum is 10 minutes on the treadmill. That's like, if I'm having the worst day and I can't find the time, don't feel like I can find the time, don't feel like I have the energy, whatever, that's my minimum. And so this idea of like having a minimum and a maximum has been really helpful. Like, what's my minimum that for the bad days? And then like and then my maximum is like a full workout, like spending an hour in there. And also, yeah, like changing the criteria. Like for me, it's about moving my body. So if I do yoga, that's fine. If I go to the park and go for a walk, which I love doing now, we finally have a park near us, that's enough. Or sometimes I go to the gym, or sometimes I go to the gym and just walk. And so I've sort of like diversified the ways that I can achieve that goal. So I don't know why I felt called to share that with you guys today, but that's what's been on my mind. And then I wanted to read 2 pieces of writing, one from Laura's book and then one that I wrote today. And then I think we'll be done. So I wanted to first read from Laura's book, Push Off From Here. Actually, it's in both books, but it's her 9 things. And this, honestly, these are kind of groundbreaking. And anyways, let me just read them and then we can talk about them. But these were written in her first book, and then they became the basis for her second book. So 1, it's not your fault. 2, it is your responsibility. 3, it's unfair that this is your thing. 4, this is your thing. 5, this will never stop being your thing until you face it. 6, you cannot do it alone. 7, only you can do it. 8, I love you. And 9, I will never stop reminding you of these things. Whew. When I read this the first time, I was just like, shit. This is so, for me, like, I think she says this in her book, but for her, writing is also her thing, but sobriety was also her thing. Or alcoholism, however you want to put it. But I've talked about them before as like shiny objects or like divine inklings, but like I feel like in life, for me, there's certain things that get like really big in my life until I face them. And sort of they'll always be big. Like for me, film and storytelling has always been one. Like it's just always been there, sort of like clawing at the back of my mind or like calling to me. And sometimes it doesn't feel fair or like even like a good thing, but it's like that duality of like, it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It's unfair that this is your thing, but this is your thing. Like, there's like such peace for me in that, like, I don't know, it just feels like a sigh of relief when I read these things. And yeah, like, these will never stop being your thing until you face it. Often you can't do it alone. Only you can do it. So fucking true. Like, I just feel like, for me, my things are YouTube. My things are sobriety, for sure. Film and storytelling. Like, I don't know, there's just thing, and then once you face things and life changes, like, and evolves, like, something else becomes your thing. And I think also marriage and partnership is one of my things. Like, I struggle with marriage and partnership a lot. And like, if you're into astrology, you can look at my chart, and I have like 7 out of 9 planets in Capricorn, and 7, I think, is the house of like marriage and partnership. So anyways, it's just a big theme in my life. Probably always will be, which I kind of hate it, and it's not fair, and it seems so much easier for everyone else. But like, I don't know. So these 9 things have just been really helping me. So I don't know. Hopefully they will do something for you as well. And then I also wanted to read what I wrote today, because I've also been finding that writing has been helping me cope a little bit. And I don't consider myself a writer, but it's sort of like, it's definitely one of those things that I've always loved to do, feel like I'm okay at, but like, it's never been it's never been a career. I don't know. Fuck it. I like to write, but I don't really write publicly. But anyways, my mom is a writer, and I feel like because of her love of words, I also have a love of words. Same with photography. She was a photographer, so it was just always around. And like, anyways, okay, so this is what I wrote today about sobriety. To my shield, my buffer, my barrier, laying you to rest, I wonder, what flowers are appropriate for your burial? What kind of dirt will keep you in the ground this time? For so long, you have buffered me against the pain of being alive. Everything from the mild cross of irritation to the deep, painful realizations that I refuse to put down in writing, here or anywhere else. You kept me warm when a chill would have run up my spine. You dried my tears that no one else seems to understand. You kept me at arm's length from the thoughts that keep me up at night, restless as my legs, the fidgets of my mind. You rocked me to sleep in the cradle of sweet, sordid numbness. And that's it. So, I don't know, I just kind of just, someone in the group was posting about grief, and I was feeling a lot of grief yesterday, I think. And I expressed it to my partner, and I don't necessarily feel like they got it. And I feel like sometimes people just don't really get how heavy it can feel to face sobriety, because they don't have, it's not their thing, right? Like, this is one of my things. And so, yeah, I just like was thinking about like that as a metaphor, because I am grieving it, and I am having to bury it and put it to rest. And I've done this before, and it fucking rises from the dead like Taylor Swift over and over again. Yeah, like, what kind of dirt is going to keep you in the ground this time, you know? Like, and then just noticing all of the things that it's been shielding me from, that it's been buffer for. And it's really scary to have to face those without it. So that's what I wrote. And happy day 2. I hope that if you guys are on this journey too, that it's going okay for you. This is technically day 7 for me, so I have a week, which is awesome. And it's really nice glimmer of hope that like today's been easier. So if it's day 2 and it still sucks, it's totally normal. You're not weird. And keep coming back. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.